So Podium is a stock and fibre marketing platform, okay? So I noticed when I come to Andrew Michael's ram sale, I noticed the clientele have all got their books in their hands and they're all using their figures to choose their ram selection for their genetic gains and their benchmarking. Sorry. I came to the realisation that that your sheep are mobile data information sheets that you've got walking around the home with your flocks. So our plan is to use this information for marketing. I approached Andrew and Alastair the middle of last year about the concept of running a liaison project where we could market the stud and their clientele's product and batch it together. Andrew fortunately said no, he's interested in this. This is terrific. This is what we're looking for. But he said, I don't want you to do it as a liaison banner. I said, when he said, if you're going to go out and make this, I want you to make it so it fits the industry, so it is inclusive of everybody. So what we've done is we've got an objective measurement marketing platform. So the idea of this is an independent platform which is open to all stock producers and all agents to use. So the deal will be the more volume we get through it, the more valuable it's going to be for you guys and girls. At the moment, the ASBV group in the Australian marketplace is relatively small, but I believe it to be a growing space. We just probably have to look at our counterparts of, say, the dairy industry or the poultry industry, and they rely on this for everyday business. So our plan is to use the ASBVs combined with a flock profile and then collate, batch, meat and wool to go to market. Our vision is to hold regular unmules wool sales, and Podium will also promote to add additional changes to your ENVDs or NVDs and animal health statements, which we'll go into later. So think of my role as an agronomist for stock. First of all, we register with Podium. We receive a Podium accreditation number. We apply for a flock profile. And then we sit down with you and discuss your strategy and plans. We get your direction for breeding and marketing. Then Podium will batch and collate your measured stock and wool. Podium will use your data to market your products with your consent. Podium will also find the best markets that suit your product. And we are in the process of developing new and strengthening our existing markets. Podium will provide you with the contract and will pay the stock vendor. We've covered a little bit off on flock profiling so far, but I'll cover off on the bit that's relevant to Podium. But I like the flock profile as a graph. I find it a lot easier to read, and it becomes very quick to read. So this is just an example, of course. So our plan at Podium is to educate, promote and supply DNA testing. It's a simple procedure to flock profile. We have to provide 20 samples of your ewe lamb base or your hogget base. Okay, we use the information to benchmark, and we use the client's information for genetic gain, but Podium uses the information to promote and market your products. Remembering you own the flock profile, so it's your choice whether we have access to use it for marketing or not. James mentioned before about the the flock profile database. It's a bit of a moving line, bit of a moving mean line. So we recommend that you flock profile every 3 years, and this will see if you're staying ahead of the game and seeing how your flock will roll. With the flock profile, as Andrew just described a bit earlier, it does make it easy to assess your stock, and it's a powerful tool with assessing when it comes to a platform like Auctions Plus. So podium levels. Now, the podium levels, that's why we called it podium, because it does have a different level of excellence, I suppose. So a three dot podium, it must be flock profiled. It must have terminal genetic accuracies must be greater than 60%. Its documentation must be signed. Pain relief must be used, and it must have ceased or been non-mulesed, and any other accreditations that you've got. The second is the 2 dots, which is, as you can see, is very similar, but it is optional to be flock profiled or mulesed. So if any of the businesses out there mule sheep, that's not my business. My role as an agent is to promote what you've got for sale. So you'll be able to identify pretty quickly, and there's the third one. This is more of the entry level, where you must have pain relief used and you must be demonstrating some change of measured genetic gain. But you can see that the people that have been using this form of selection for 10 or 15 years or 2 generations of stock, they must be identified between someone that's just pretty much just started. So that's the reason for that. And you'll get familiar with these dots and the flock profile. So I'll give you an example. An example is, let's take an example of 300 ewe lambs that are 10 months old, have a body weight of 55 kilos, and are recently shorn. So as we see in normal platforms around the place at the moment, these are pretty much the credentials that we have to buy and sell from. So the only way you can work out from that where this flock sits is you must look at the bloodline, you must read the stock agent's assessment, and you must also understand the owner's or the vendor's comment. What we plan at Podium is, if we add a flock profile and the tiered system, we can see at a glance that even though these sheep have recently been shorn, we can see they're above average for wool cut. We can see they're above average for staple length. And we can also see that they have great meat traits. So straight away, this will be adding value to your stock. We'll take another example of a 2 dot. Now, remembering what I've just said about the tiers, if it's a 2 dot and it's got a flock profile, immediately we can identify that this flock is mulesed. It still has a terrific flock profile, but it's been mulesed. So it'll get you to understand that this is when you're assessing stock or seeing stock for sale on Auctions Plus or on the platform, you'll be able to assess this stock straight away and add value as a buyer or a seller. The last one is the 1 dot system. This is just a bit of an example I've made up. It's a bit over exaggerated, but on purpose so you can see it. This you can see from this flock profile immediately that is less wool cut. Its micron's okay, but it has short staple length and high curvature. The meat traits are still fine. So at a glance, I'd be saying this could be a Dooney cross, this could be a Sam cross. So you'll get to learn how to identify using these tools. We mentioned it a bit earlier before, transparency and accurate traceability. At the moment, this is just a standard NVD form, an animal health statement. At the moment, we are all working on a level playing field. We fill out the form, we send it off, we send it with our stock. So, looking at the last slide, if we had a flock profile that we had used pain relief and we had all the bells and whistles on it, we had a podium accreditation number, and we fill out the form and send it off, this is equivalent to someone, say, in the Adelaide Hills that runs a dozen sheep and checks them once a year. So what we are promoting is saying, if you are non-mulesed, or if you have a podium accreditation number, put it in that where I've got the circle. Put it in that question 7. Write it in there. It's your stat deck. It's not mine. It's yours. It belongs to you. So it gives you the chance to value add and supply full traceability right through the system. We also are encouraging at the top there ENVDs, and the simple reason is that if you add any of these points, we can save it as a template, so you don't have to keep writing them in all the time. There's another example there of antibiotic free. Write it in there. If anyone deals with ALC, they'll realise that if you don't write it in there, you get deducted 10 cents a kilo. So use it as one of your marketing tools for full transparency and traceability. Okay, we're going to have a go at going online. Hopefully this will work. But you can see across the top there, the podium operations about us, contact us. That's just like a standard website, that's fine. I'm just showing you where the business activity is, the stuff that you're going to use. Remembering that this website and this platform is designed for you. It's designed for your clientele, so we want you to use it. We want your feedback, and we want you to treat it as your spot for marketing, and use it at your will. Okay, so if we scroll up, Jen. So we get to that first thing, how to get started, register with Flock Profile. If we just hit the button. So this is what it costs. It's $100 a year annually. That will only be triggered if you sell something on the platform. Okay, and this will also, give you your podium accreditation number, which is important because that'll go on your NVD form and that'll be on your Flock Profile. That will give you full traceability right through the end. So no one can pirate or imitate your Flock Profile and cut and paste it off the internet and whack it on their sheet, because you'll have the full traceability. If you just scroll up a bit further, see, and then you hit the download an application form. If you can hit that, next one up, wrong one. Yeah, that'll do. So that is that's to apply for a Flock Profile. 2 minutes to go. Right, we better go. Can you go back to the home page? Can you go to Operation Services, Podium Services? Can you go straight to Podium Services? Go to Stock for Sale. Stock for Sale. Hit that. My time's been burned up with IT. So what it is, there's a search bar there. You can say, I want ewes, I want lambs. And we'll just, these are live. These are actually live, but they're not podium, of course, because we're just launching. But if they're not podiums, they'll have no dots. There'll be 1, 2, 3 dots or no dots. And if you just scroll up to where it's the Leeson one, can you just hit that? This is what Nutrien sold late last year or early. So this is an example. This is how you'll see the scroll up. So you'll have all the normal stats you normally see on any platform, but the first thing you're going to see is a Flock Profile. Now that doesn't belong to these sheep. I've just put it in there for an example. So if you hit the next photo, Jen, so you start with the flock profile. Yep, you hit that. You'll get your podium levels straight away. And then you hit that button again, Jen, and then you get the sheep and the videos and what you normally get on any sort of site. So if you scroll up again, Jen, if you like what you see here, keep scrolling up, right at the bottom of the page. There you go, inquire. Just roll it down a bit so they can see it. Inquire on this lot. You write your name in there, you hit your mobile phone, you hit inquire, we get instantly the lot number and what you're looking at, and we'll get straight back to you, okay? So I'm running out of time here, but just quickly, if you do this on an iPhone, say at lunchtime or after, whatever, and you type in podiumlivestock.com and you go to the wanted page, you'll see that little download section in the top right-hand corner, which has got the square, it's got the arrow. Hit that, and that'll whack it as a web-based app on your phone. It'll have Podium on it, which will give you access to the website as well. So, hope you can use it. Hope it can add value to your business. Remember, it's yours. Use it as your marketing tool. And let's talk. Thank you.